you're all ready.
Not here.
Oh, really? Well, I'm going to turn it on anyway. You can hear me. It's all right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this year's essay presidential and vice presidential debate. My name is Matt Burns. I'm your dean of students for the next 85 days. I say that smiling, but I'm actually pretty sad about it. Brianna Jones is our elections coordinator, and she's going to be keeping time tonight.
Woo! Yeah!
She will call when time is up, but about 30 seconds before that, she will raise her hand so that if you're speaking, wrap it up. Okay? We have already drawn for the order of opening statements, and the candidate, Miraz Sadi and Misty Parker will be making opening statements first. Hold on. And then they will be followed by Gururansh Kohli and Jake Adelman. And Daniel Piscay and Elijah Bader Gregory. We're going to begin tonight with each ticket having 2 minutes for an opening statement. We just did the drawing, and it's only the order. That will be followed by a round of questions where some are for presidential candidates, some are for vice presidential candidates, and some will be for each ticket where one or both candidates in the ticket can choose to respond. However, both candidates choose to respond, that doesn't extend your time, so you still have to keep it to that time limit. Some of the questions during this round were submitted by students prior to the debate. We have predetermined rotation for the order in which these questions are answered, so no candidates will have to go first all the time, no candidates will have to go last. Then there will be a few questions from the audience. If you have a question that you would like asked at this time, there are index cards available down here in the front. Please write your questions clearly and then hand your card to Brianna, our timekeeper, at any time during the debate. We will not be able to answer all of the questions that you submit. Normally during this debate we can only answer a couple, but we'll get to as many as we can. We'll end the debate with a rapid fire round where each candidate will have 15 seconds to respond, and we will rotate who goes first. After the debate, there will be refreshments in the lobby, and we hope you will stay and continue to interact with the candidates. Are we ready?
Yeah!
Let's meet this year's candidates, starting with Miraz Sadi and Misty Parker for your opening statement. You're ready.
Hello, everyone. This is Miraz. I'm from Bangladesh. I'm an international student here, class of 2024, studying chemical engineering and biochemistry.
Hi, my name is Misty Parker. I'm studying molecular genetics and business.
And this year, Miraz and Misty has their platform based on candies, M&M, and the entire platform is like first and C-A-N-D-Y. And for us, C stands for campus culture. And the campus culture we are trying to bring back is the 2019 and back whatever Rochester had. COVID changed pretty much everything for us. We are trying to bring back that aesthetic Rochester.
Some of the ways we plan to do the campus culture fixing is fixing the overcrowding and long lines that you experience on a daily basis. Additionally, we want to fix the overcrowding that you experience for your room and board, as well as your room selections. We want to bring back late night Dougie and Pip. We want to work with College Town on dining so you guys have more accessibility and have more places to eat. We also want to work on food contamination. I was raised kosher, he was raised halal, different backgrounds, as well as the vegetarian vegan students on campus. There's a lot of contamination with food, and it's kind of disrespectful for people from those backgrounds, as well as just people with food intolerance entirely.
We also want to do more advocacy work related to the credit system we have been suffering with. And we also want to provide competitive wage to the UHS worker who haven't been able, there is no mental health workers right now because of the uncompetitive wage that UFR provides.
The M stands for noobs, and we're just referring to any international students, first gen, low income, someone that's campus life, going to college is kind of a dream for them. something that is not experienced on a daily basis, something that they don't have as much education on. So we want to support those students as much as possible.
Being first-gen students ourselves, we know the struggle and we want to expand on the resources and make sure that those are provided to all the students that need it.
And then diversity.
Well, in terms of diversity, I can vouch for pretty much everyone.
Just look at the candidacy pool.
And why the fuck not? And
That's time. Thank you. Next, we're going to move to Gururanj Kohli and Jake Adelman.
Hi, good evening everyone. Good evening fellow Rochester students. My name is Rochester Kohli, and as a member of this community, I have seen many issues firsthand, and I'm committed to making positive changes for everyone here. As president, I don't want to make any empty promises for any of you guys. I can assure one thing. I can assure that everyone's voices and their concerns will be heard and represented at an upper level with faculty and the community as a whole. I will help combine all of our interests and concerns in shaping a community that is ever better, our motto, never more. As a candidate for president, I believe there are many issues that we are facing. One issue that's big is that we have a lack in student connect. I want to connect our campus better and have more collaboration and diversity and equity events around campus. First and foremost, I want to work in the power of collaboration. I will work closely with the student body and faculty and administration to ensure that our college is welcoming and an inclusive environment for all. Finally, I believe that the student engagement is vital to the success of our college. I will work to create more opportunities for students to get involved in campus life all throughout, including interdisciplinary research fairs, and other ways that we can have innovative ways to gain like scholarships and stuff like that. I will also help creating job fairs so we can have more advanced training for people entering the job circuit. In closing, I believe that with hard work and collaboration, we can make our college an even better place for everyone. I humbly ask for your vote today and your support for this election. And I promise to work tirelessly for everyone here and represent your interests and concerns in the student government.
Yeah, I gotta lower this a little bit, I'm just short. Thank you. So when Aj pitched the idea of running on a presidential ticket, I was really hesitant about joining it. I didn't know how seriously he was gonna take it. I didn't know about like the issues we want to run on. But despite this, he really hit on a point there where he said campus community. And I think it's, oh God, you really over, man. Anyway, yeah.
My name is Daniel Skady. I'm from the class of 2025, a BCS and Linguistics double major, the current chair of Academic Affairs in the Students Association, a senator, an SAA, a program assistant at the Language Center, and I want to be your next president of the Students Association.
And my name is Elijah Gregory. I'm a member of the class of 2026. I'm double majoring in economics and political science, and I'm also a senator. I'm on the 2026 class council. I'm a tour guide, an eco rep, and a student alumni ambassador. And I'm running to be your next SA vice president. So, throughout the last year, we've worked tirelessly and closely in SA and grown as leaders together. As the two people on this stage who have been to every single Senate meeting, the two people on this stage who have been behind 6 major pieces of legislation that we've passed in the legislative branch, and the two people who have headed on the majority of the major projects in the legislative branch this year, I am confident in saying that our work to prioritize students has only just begun.
I would like to ask you to question throughout this debate who you believe can implement their vision for campus. Who will be able to build constructive relationships with administration while still having them know we don't work for them. Who won't burn necessary bridges while still having difficult conversations. Who will bring students into these conversations and make sure to actively advocate for all issues that affect students. I hope to show you in this campaign and in this debate that that option is us because it has been us, whether it be Elijah in transportation and dining or me in academics. Going into this campaign, I knew I did not want to run if I could not have the necessary connections with campus and conversations with campus leaders across all facets of campus life. I believe our platform and our vision is a testament to this work, and I hope you will join us in the mission to create a better SA.
Thank you. Move on to the question round, where each candidate response will be limited to 2 minutes. These will be questions alternatively for presidential candidates and then vice presidential candidates. So that the candidates know, this first question is for presidential candidates. Daniel, you'll be going first, Gururaj second, and Maras, you'll be going third. The question is, so get ready, Daniel. What is the top issue currently facing the student body, and how should it be addressed by student government? You have 2 minutes.
I'll be that. Hey everybody, oh my gosh. So I feel like the biggest obstacle that we faced when it comes to administration is the fact that they like to come to all of our events, they like to come to our town halls and listen to our input, but as a member of SA, I have not seen enough active involvement from students in the decision-making process. Thank you, Adriana. So when it comes to things like the strategic plan, when it comes to things like budgetary allocation, these are big topics, and I think that the person that can most strategically figure out where to put money in our campus is the people that live on this campus, the students. So that's where number one, I've learned that I'm pretty good at SA to invite myself to places. It's something that I've had to do as academic affairs chair, because they don't always want you in that process itself. Because, I mean, we can sometimes say, no, your idea sucks. But that's definitely where I think we need to focus in on, is invite ourselves into these spaces, get into these decision-making bodies, and really hone in our skills as campus leaders to figure out where this university needs to go. Thank you.
The biggest issue in my eyes that our campus is facing nowadays is the connect between our students and our student body government, and between faculties, including like the dean and everyone like that. I feel like we can solve this issue by having our voices heard and represented in the student body government. If I was elected president, I would have a link in my Instagram bio and a daily post addressing what issues we're facing as a whole body together, so we can address and solve them as a whole. I want everyone's voices to be collaborative. I want everyone to have an equal say in what goes on in this university, where our money goes, how you're living your life, and how we're going to have a better time at this university. Because at the end of the day, it is our university. We are staying here for the next 4 years. So why not make it a great 4 years? So that's my biggest issue. I will take everyone's voices and address the issues that we're facing, whether it be late dining hours, whether you want lower hillside prices. There's rising cost of tuition, more financial aid, scholarship options, and education on how to get those scholarships. Have a better way to enter the job fair. I want us to be connected, a big community that can thrive on the motto of ever better, Melior. Thank you.
Wait, we were talking about issues, right? On campus?
Yes, the question was, what is the top issue currently facing the student body, and how should it be addressed by student government?
Issues on campus. Well, some people will say it's diversity. Some people don't care about diversity. Some people will say I have food issues. Some people don't really have allergies to work with. So, like, what kind of issues should we prioritize? There's no prioritization in issues. Every issue is an issue. And like, it affects everyone differently. So I'm not gonna say that this issue is very big and I wanna deal with it myself and I wanna be the first person to solve that. I don't want that. I want equal prioritization on issues that is affecting the students. And whether that be food, whether that be your housing, whether that be your healthcare, anything that affects you, you're paying 80 grand to the school, you should get that service done and given to you. This is not a cheap school that you can just come in and you get third-class service. If you're coming to a top priority school in the United States, this is the expectation of any student coming here. So, I'm not going to prioritize issues here. U of R has a lot of issues, but admin in it, and I'm not afraid.
Our next question is for our vice presidential candidates. The order in which we will go is Jake, Misty, and Elijah. So get ready, Jake. Your question is, student government should be the voice of all students on campus. How would you ensure you are seeking feedback from the student body before making decisions?
So our entire campaign is built on the fact that we feel a disconnect between the vast majority of the student body and student government itself. That's what our whole thing is. It's a flexible platform and where we want to increase feedback from the student body to the student representatives. And, sorry, can you say?
Student government should be the voice for all students on campus. How would you ensure you are seeking feedback from the student body before making decisions?
All right, thank you. So when you look at me and Anch, I'm hard-pressed to find any of similarities between us. I mean, he's a frat member, comes from New Delhi, India. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I play football. We don't do the same majors. We don't have the same classes. And yet we're roomies, but we're also some of the closest friends you'll ever see. And because of that, we feel we have a unique experience to connecting to different types of people, different groups on campus, and then representing those voices, whether it be people connecting with us through Instagram, through TikTok, through just text messages and classes. We feel we have a unique opportunity to connect with anybody and everybody on campus and then represent them fairly, equally, and loudly within student government.
Yes.
All right, hey everyone. So I just want to say, not every opinion is valid, and some of them are actually crap. So if you're going to come to me with some shitty opinions about people that are disrespectful to a lot of groups here on campus, or just controversial that beyond reason, I'm not going to take that seriously, because I'm going to handle serious claims. Additionally, I go to these events, I go to these meetings, I go to things related to SA, things outside of SA, and I didn't do that just for my campaign period. I've been doing that since I got here. So if you've seen anyone recently going to these events, pretending like they're involved on student campus, pretending like they actually care about these issues, really reflect on if they do, and if you've seen them there before. And regarding just activities on campus, I'm around. You guys can always talk to me. In our platform, we put our room number. We said, come, reach out. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, come to us, because we want to provide that for you. We want to be a source for feedback, and we want to actually get shit done.
Thank you.
Question you heard was SA disconnect with the student life.
Student government should be the voice from all all students on campus. How would you ensure you are seeking feedback from the student body before making decisions?
As someone who's been in Senate since September, SA doesn't function the way it should, period, point blank. The way that a student association should work is with active involvement for everyone who's in that student association, for everyone that is and is not. That is not how things function. We have seen and shown so much disconnect in the way that our student government actually functions and the way that things work day to day, every Monday when we have Senate meetings, in between those days when we have committee meetings. Committees don't even talk to each other. Things aren't structured the way that they should be, and that's a big part of that. So there's the SA disconnection and our committees not talking to each other. Another idea that we have that we will implement is the Presidential Advisory Council, which is a standing body, but we're going to change that. Every single identity and cultural group on campus will be reached out on day one of us being elected to appoint a member to our Presidential Advisory Council and select their own representation on what campus matters actually care about, or that they care about. So we shouldn't be the ones to appoint people or to select them from some large list of applicants. They should be the ones doing that. Another one, SA contacts. I want every single organization on campus to have an SA contact, whether it's a senator, someone in the executive branch, someone anywhere that works for SA. I want them to have a contact to go to for any of their problems, to talk about any of their needs, and to get their voices heard on a permanent and personal basis. And then lastly, town halls, newsletters, these get the actual general word out to a lot of people at once. Town halls are infrequent, they're not held enough, they're not structured enough to show students that we actually care about pertinent issues, and they need to be made more of them, and they need to be made about more pertinent issues to the entire student body. And then the newsletter, which will be regularized, as well as video updates and more to keep students actually involved with what SA is doing, and actually hold us accountable too. Thank you.
and then Guraj. And your question this time is, this was submitted by a student ahead of time. How will you promote diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus? Ross?
Female representation on campus. Female representation in essay leadership. Diversity, essay leadership. Thank you.
Okay. Hey everyone. I know that I alone am not a full representation of the student body by any means, so we can get that one out there from the start. I am ready to have the conversations that are needed to be the best representative for the student body that I can be. I'm not going to promise to walk into a room with new solutions to issues that I know dedicated students have asked for time and time again. We're talking about basic respect, basic support, and basic response to systematic issues that have plagued this campus for way too long. What I can promise is that I'll be a tireless advocate. I will relentlessly fight for the issues affecting students, uplift voices, and listen. Looking back on my year as the academic affairs chair, one of my fondest moments was working with some dedicated students on creating a Latin American studies major. During this process, we advocated to build a resolution to show student support, and I'm really excited that that resolution is part of the thing that's in the CCC committee actively trying to make this a reality. I feel like I can speak for both of us when I say that these projects won't stop because we're leaving our previous roles. We will continue to be the best advocate and resource as possible for the student body as we enter this new role. That's all I got.
How will you promote diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus?
Okay, diversity, let's start off there. So, everyone remember their first week of school where we went to Eastman, enjoyed that show of diverse cultures, religions, different backgrounds, dances. How fun was that, all right? That was pretty fun, right? Why don't we have more of that student body? Why don't we have more weekends where we learn about culture, learn about different backgrounds, learn about where people are from? With me and President, I will help bring that culture to the campus, portray every student's background, portray all the different type of ethnic and diverse backgrounds we have on campus. I will help make many initiatives so that we have a good way to learn about all these different types of things, cultures and backgrounds we have on campus. Also, you cannot find another different, as different pair of me as me and Jay. I'm sorry, stop it. He's half Taiwanese, half white. I'm Indian from New Delhi. I'm from California, New York. We know what it's like to enter a place and bring diversity there and showcase our culture. And as a group, we're going to help showcase our diverse background and help bring out the light in every student at U of R. Thank you.
So the next three questions are for each ticket. So you can decide as a ticket who is going to respond, whether it's one or both of you, but there still is a 2-minute limit on the answers. So we will be starting this questions with Daniel and Elijah, and then moving on to Guraj and Jake, and then finally Misty and Miraz in the last respondees to this question. So this question was also submitted ahead of time online prior to the debate. Do you have any specific goals for your term that would actually impact the average student? Daniel and Elijah.
So a lot of the work that Daniel and I have actually been doing for the past full year does impact everyday student life. So as someone who is on the Campus Life Committee in Senate and in charge of dining and transportation, and Daniel, who is the Academic Affairs Chair and also a Senator, we've got a lot of opportunities to actually impact the lives of students that hasn't gone unseen. So starting out, I think my second week actually in role, I attended the Transportation Advisory Committee meeting and yelled at admin for about 25 minutes. And then the next week, we had a second orange line running in the morning. So in addition to that, I also work on dining issues. We've extended the hours of the all good station for allergen needs in Douglas. That's happened. What else have we done? We've done so much in dining. I've done the Ramadan meal program for MSA. I've worked alongside the Muslim Students Association over the past 2 months, working with Mason, their president, she's amazing, to sort of think, create, and then implement a meal program for Ramadan, for fasting meal holidays. In addition to that, that's not where we're just going to stop. We have so many more plans too. I'll let Daniel take that.
Yeah, so that's just some of the things that we have already done. Looking to the future, we have a foundation, we have our committees, we've had what we worked on and ready to take those into the future, but we realize the presidential role is not just taking what we have done and continuing it. So I think that concrete plans come directly from student concern on campus. I do feel like we can get into spaces we haven't been before. I feel like we can get on committees to help plan our registrar planning program, to design a new course catalog, which I've been working on, and I see that happening next year. I do. I see getting us on dining plans. I think dining plans are too restrictive for students. I have friends that, luckily the RA plan was fixed this year. All students should have more freedom, and I think that's something we can get done. So I don't think that when our platform comes out tomorrow morning, you're going to see things that are not manageable do. I think that you're going to see things we can get done.
We're number 2. I'm losing track up here. Because I wanted to remind you all, by the way, before you start, about the index cards. Because following these, yep, you have a question?
I have a question for a specific ticket.
No, your questions have to be for all tickets, okay? But I do want to remind you that. Sorry to interrupt.
How do you get them to the front?
You give them to Brianna. Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt. You guys, go ahead.
So when thinking about this question, I really thought about like personal issues to me, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, I really could use more financial aid. I could really use more mental health evaluations, more mental health like resources for that. But that really doesn't matter. Like my problems don't matter to someone up there or over there. I mean, we're all people on this campus, but we're all individuals. We're all different, and I think the big part, or what we promise to do, is to make sure that it's not just our voices being heard, or the people we align ourselves with, or the group of our cabinet, but that every single person on campus has individual problems that need to be heard, discussed, and treated as equal problems that have solutions that we can't find.
Now, there's also many issues like our candidates here saying about dining hall options. We really also feel like pit swipes is a very crucial issue. Many athletes don't have time to go and eat during the day at their regular dining halls, so they resort to pit. The pit has only one swipe per day, which is very difficult for many people to manage. They want to use 3 swipes like they used to last semester. We had 3 swipes on the weekdays, and you could use them all together. People get food from the pit and put it in their room so they can eat it later. So they use 2 swipes consecutively. And I don't see why that's a problem. Because, let's be honest, the declining dollar is more expensive than the US dollar. Hillside prices are outrageous. So we want to lower those prices and help everyone have good sustenance and good food.
So everyone keeps talking about their experiences in SA when in reality it's just been 1 year. And as someone who's been in there for 5 or 6 collectively and actually been in charge of their branch as the speaker of their branch, it's sweet to see kids try to get involved. But at the end of the day, they're freshmen and sophomores, and I don't really trust them with decisions here on campus, seeing how they led this year. So, frankly, you can make as much promises as you want, but I didn't see those actions in SA this year, and I do not plan to see that moving forward. So let's just look and reflect on the actions that were actually accomplished, and I can attest to Maras. We didn't put ourselves in because that would be too biased, but he did put the SA annual report out, and he could talk directly to that.
I got the SA annual report published like a week or 2 weeks ago, probably. And you can probably look at it, the achievements SA had over the last 1 year. If you go back to the platform, winning platform from last year, you'll see 20 pages of promises. And if you look at the exact branch achievements, the achievement is getting 502 responses on a survey. That's one of their achievements. And then creating a student advisory board for something, that's an achievement, I guess. Putting an essay bonding event that was hosted by me for the essay students, that's an achievement, apparently. So I'm not here to make promises, but I'll make sure at least 10 things that will be on my website will be done.
Thank you.
To connect Rochester students to the local community. And Guraj and Jake. Each take a part.
There we go. All right. So the question was, how can we connect the Rochester community to us as students, right? So why don't we start around by helping out our community? I noticed firsthand, my roommates on the football team, they went to the local communities, they read books to the local children's schools and preschools like that. Why don't we connect to these younger generations and educate them what U of R stands for? We stand for ever better. Let's thrive, and as a whole, let's teach these kids on how it is to be a great academic student and a great person all around. So I want to connect the University of Rochester students to the outside community by organizing community fundraisers and different ways to get involved outside the community. Maybe programs using the buses we have on campus, taking them around to maybe pick up trash around the city, educate ourselves through different ways. We have many people should also want to learn CPR and ARCAN training. Why don't we have people go around and get CPR training so if there's any life-threatening emergencies around them, they can help out their local students, right? So why don't we connect our community by getting everyone educated in different aspects and cleaning up all around us? That's all I have to say for that one. Thank
you. Hey guys, gentrification. So as someone who's actually been homeless and kicked out on the fucking street, it sucks to not have a house. As a low-income student, that's a reality for me. So because we're not having adequate sources of housing here on campus, we're going to send students off campus for housing, meaning we're jacking up the prices for all these low-income poor people. They have nowhere to go. What, you want to freeze? You want them to die outside? What do you want? Being homeless sucks. Being homeless sucks in the cold. That's what you're providing here. Because this school cannot adequately support its students, the size is growing at such a rapid rate, and frankly, admin isn't addressing it. Because admin ain't it.
Vote for eminence.
Okay, so getting involved with the community. As president and vice president, we are going to tirelessly push on administration to connect with people that are actually in the community that aren't part of the University of Rochester community. That means talking with the 19th Ward Community Association. That means talking with the Plymouth Exchange Community Association. Building valuable relationships with people that that are stakeholders because they live right next to us. Those are the people, those are the boards, those are the people that actually have change and change-making power for those neighborhoods. We have a lot of common goals between our two entities. We have the University of Rochester, the largest employer in the city of Rochester, 5th largest in the state of New York. And then we have communities with thousands and thousands of residents that have lived there for decades and generations. So we have common goals. We want to avoid gentrification, but we also want to provide housing for students. Providing housing for students, something that the university has a $4 billion endowment for, as well as budgetary resources for, is something that we can actually push for and get done as the strategic plan rolls out for this upcoming fall. Besides that, we're also going to work with them to move students who are actively gentrifying the area, and we're going to provide policy to make sure that we stop doing that. Daniel?
I think that, in Academic Affairs Committee, I've worked with the Secretary of Community Engagement. Our association has a built-in position for this, and I want to strengthen it. Some things I'm really passionate about getting involved with them is expanding our community engaged learning program. I don't know if anyone had taken a community engaged course, and the fact that I'm sure a lot of people in this room haven't is a travesty. I mean, we live in one of the coolest cities in New York. I also want to work with the Rock Ticks, WCSA. We should have events that aren't just going to a bowling alley. It should be getting out into the community and exploring what we have here. Thank you.
Should we just keep going, or should we? Let's just do Then we're going to need a minute or two so you can breathe and organize questions from the audience and try to decide how much time we have to answer those, okay? So I'm going to ask a preset question for each ticket again, is what do you see as one of the strengths of student life on campus? And the order this time, we're going to start with Miraz and Misty, go to Daniel and Elijah, and then Guraj and Jake. So Miraz and Misty, the question is, what do you see as one of the strengths of student life on campus?
Something I like to see here on campus is integrity, and I don't really see that often. So let's just address that. I just went through a 5-day-long appeal process to the elections coordinator and EDC committee by wrongful execution that suspended our online campaigning for 5 days. Meaning you have not seen a post, a single response from us. I cannot message someone who had questions about my campaign. That's because there is no integrity here on campus. And I can directly attest because I know who my accuser is and they're sitting behind me. I went through an ACJC case and proved without a shadow of a doubt that it was falsified and wrong. And guess what? My points were removed. No 20 points from me. That was removed from the spreadsheet. So I just want to appreciate the students on campus here that are actually honest and integrified because y'all really need to make it on the mark.
The question was, what do you see as one of the strengths of student life on campus?
So inherently, as a university, we have things students do and can do and enjoy doing. The strengths of student lives are vast, but they can be expanded too. So personally, we've talked about what we do on campus here. Like I'm a student alumni ambassador, I'm the tour guide, I'm an eco rep, so I'm an environmental steward. We do volunteering, we do it in student government, we're part of clubs, undergraduate councils, we have jobs. So many things we can do as students already exist, but in improving those programs and improving the communication of those programs and the incentive is for students to actually get involved in those programs is a priority. Making sure that these things and activities are things that students want to do because they will benefit themselves for the future.
And I found a place to fit in no matter where, whether it be academically. I don't think we have any linguistics undergraduate council people in the house, but if they're watching, I love you. Whether it be our career community and getting involved in clubs like OSTEM, Pride Network, we have any of those people in the crowd. Or whether it be SA, a place where I found meaningful options to build about campus. I mean, there are spots in which students can find community, and that's what I love about the University of Rochester.
What I find really just beautiful about this is the mixture of life you can have. I mean, you see it in our, how we, Jesus Christ, I can't speak today. Thank you. The support and, what am I talking about? Anyway, how we do the school. I feel like that's a real representation of like our campus life, how there's so many different hobbies, sports teams, different extracurriculars you can do. You can always get involved in the community, always do whatever you want. Yeah.
As my roommate and my closest friend Jake said, we have so many different diverse mindsets. That's what our key goal is. It's like gold. We have so many different mindsets and so many different academic brains that we can collaborate together to create magnificent creations. We see that through the robotics club, through Model UN, through our diverse frats, through our diverse sports teams, and then as a campus, we also have great diversity. We have a really large international student population. Now, what we as candidates want to do is connect everyone together and share that culture so we can all become a more educated student body. Thank you.
So I'm going to try to get the ones that haven't been addressed before or that were asked the most. Some of them are specific to a ticket. Those are not questions that we're going to ask to all the different tickets. You're going to have to mingle around in the back afterwards through the refreshment stage and hopefully ask a specific. So give me 2 minutes. You can take a breather, get up, walk around, clean up the water if you need to. I'll tell you what I'm doing. All right.
What's on?
We will continue with the ticket, can answer the question as you want, the same 2-minute time frame. I've got about 4 different questions. I've tried to combine some and tried to come up with, tried to highlight those that are either more specific than the questions we've already asked or bring up some new issues. So we are going to continue with the preset rotation, so every ticket has a chance to have a different place in the order of things. And so first, audience question number 1, we're going to start with Daniel and Elijah, moving on to Guransh and Jake, and then end with Roz and Misty. So this question is that over the course of this debate, I've heard some candidates make cliche comments about giving students a voice, diversity, etc. Many also mention things like lowering food prices and keeping dining open longer. My question is specifically, how can you make this a reality, and are some of these things more realistic than others? We're going to start with Daniel and Elijah.
Okay, I'm gonna let Elijah take the first one on this. No, go ahead.
So the misnomer of cliches, essay inherently holds a lot of power that it doesn't act on. And the power that we have to push an administration to do things as a representation of over 6,500 students is huge. But again, we have a bad track record as an organization over maybe the last decade of not doing things. Dan and I aren't some of those people. We are the 2 most active members in the entire legislative branch by far. Besides that, we have real ideas and real implementations of that. Lowering food prices at Hillside. I've worked with the director of dining for months. We are planning on using Danforth storage to utilize a higher inventory so that we can order more things at a time, lower the cost, make sure that things at Hillside are cheaper, actual real goals, because we have real skills to work with real people that can make change on this university campus. We're also going to delegate our essay contacts, student organizations. We're going to open up PAC reform so that we can get more voices, like I said, more direct voices on a weekly basis to us. There are so many things that we have. Again, we have a 17-page platform dropping tomorrow morning with actual plans, goals, and reasons why we're doing things. Thank you, Daniel.
I've heard a lot about multiple-page platforms. It's almost like we have an idea for most things on campus, and that's because we've spoken with people that have been on these issues across campus. That has been this campaign. I've met with secretaries. I've met with people that do these things on a daily basis to try and advocate for these bodies. So we're not talking with this platform something that just me and Elijah are tackling. We're talking about an essay that we build back stronger to be able to take on these issues as a whole body. So thank you.
Start off with that cliche statement about increasing representation and voices across campus. I've thought of this before, and there's really a simple solution. All you have to do is make a quick website or a quick form that's a click away. You put it on QR codes, put that QR codes in classrooms and dining halls in the pit, wherever you want. You can put it on any website with the candidates, any website related to essay or a candidate needs to have that platform, just so anytime anyone's got an issue or anyone's got a problem or anyone wants to voice their opinion on anything, it's just a click away, easy form. You fill it out unanimously or not. It's all up to you. Say whatever you want, and that's how we increase representation. And to go back to the other part of the question about how would you be more realistic with your goals, I'm going to give it to Josh.
More realistic. So when we're talking about the dining goals, for example, let's talk about the 3 pit swipes. We've had 3 pit swipes last semester. I remember after my chem lab, it was late, all the dining hall options were closed. I had to ultimately resort to the pit. So I had my 3 swipes to make on, right? I got my soul, and I got my fries, and I had a good old dinner. Now, why can't we go back to that? I want to advocate, I want to work with all the student body, and I want to pressure administration so we can revert to more feasible dining plan options for everyone. And that's how we're going to take initiative. We're going to try helping ourselves to revert back to that 3 pit swipe system, because many athletes and people in labs that go too late don't have other dining hall options. Thank you.
Isn't it surprising how this school is very rich at the same time talks about like how to save money all the time? And the reason we have high prices in Hillside is solely because we don't have places to stock things. Like, isn't that crazy that we can't have an extra room to stock stuff? So, realistically speaking, we can even use declining money in College Town, because College Town, in that side of the area, is owned by University of Rochester, and anything by definition of tax laws is that anything that is produced within campus can be bought within university money, and so hence it's tax-free. So integration of College Town within our meal plans. I don't know how many of you have been to like other liberal arts colleges like Bucknell University or like other benchmark university that we can compare to University of Rochester. They all have their College Town underneath their meal plan. So anyone who wants to order food gets food from those places still in their room through those nice meals you want to have.
You guys as students, not me because I'm a financial aid kid, because again, poor, Handler, Scholar, fully, all my costs are covered, but let's just put that out there. You're paying $83,000 for your room and board and tuition here on campus, and you're thinking the school doesn't have money to allocate to the resources you need provided to you? This is a $4 billion funded school. And as far as getting your concerns heard, a lot of the time you guys aren't engaging with us because I feel like you just don't feel represented here. I'm here to say you can come and talk to me because I will come and talk to you. We have forms to fill out where you guys can actually give us feedback, but no one does. All right, so moving forward, if you have anything you want to say or anything you want to talk to me, come up to me and say it to my face. Don't do it behind my back. Don't go anywhere else because I'm here to stay and I'm here to speak.
So our second question from the audience, we are going to go in this order. Mirage and Jake, you are going to be on first. But we're going to move on to Mirage and Christine second, and Daniel and Elijah are going to be third. So this question is a follow-up to the diversity, equity, and inclusion question earlier. And the question is this. The candidates have talked about bringing diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus. What are your thoughts about the role of the SA Government Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee and the event planned this week for Identity Week and Cultural Fair? Did you have the opportunity to attend any? Gouraj and Jake.
When you look around campus and you think about diversity, you really see the same ethnic groups and people from the same. There's diversity. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of the same groups being represented. Being for the football team, I have a unique opportunity to have black teammates and black coaches, and I know the big problem in the school right now is not enough black representation in the student body or the school in general. And you can see that in, I had a conversation with my coach the other day, and he goes, why can we not recruit black players when we have the capacity and ability to do so? And it's stuff like that that really needs to be represented, because people can look around campus and be like, we're diverse, but it's really the same three ethnic groups you see all over the place, and it's a big problem that we need to address.
You pretty much covered it, so that's not
SSD-related efforts? I don't know how many of you have been to the cultural fair that SA is trying to do now, right?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So, you know where the funding for cultural fair came from? The community grant from OMSA, I guess, right? Yeah. So the community fund from OMSA. SA has a $40,000 budget. Instead of using that money, they're taking away money from places like Aditi or HSA. Those people could use. SA is taking away money from admins and putting it in their pockets so that they can place an event right before the election so that they can mingle with you all and get your votes. But you need to understand, SA's effort should be promoting that fund to places like Aditi, whose mail-out ticket price went up to $14, which could have been lowered if the community grant went to Aditi instead of SA, right? So instead of promoting SA is just, doing what it does.
Answer the question. Oh yeah, I will. So, let's talk about Culture Week. I know not a lot of you guys went, because for the first event, I think we only had 6 people, because, not a lot of people went.
We have to check more.
Oh, I'm sure, because that whole group over there for this candidacy went. I only have 30 seconds, but I will say, DEI, as someone who is, again, the Speaker of Senate this year, my name is Misty Parker. I've been there for 3 years. I've walked a lot of green forums through. I've helped with the CCC forums. I know exactly what goes on and what happens. And I know this week we didn't get a lot of turnout whatsoever. And we want to change that moving forward. And we want to make sure DEI is represented, and not just in terms of diverse students from ethnic backgrounds and races, but also financially diverse, as well as diverse from all historical cultures. Everything, not just certain.
Let's talk about the DEI committee.
Let's.
Passionate people in the Student Association. I don't want to hear it when it comes to what they've done. This is the first week that this has ever been taken. It comes from intercollegiate collaboration with St. John Fisher that put on an event, and we were like, let's bring that to Rochester. And the SA did it. Let's talk about the DEI committee and its struggles this year. You know where they had to get that grant? It was difficult to get the money through the passages of SA because those that take care of our money did not do a good job this year. All the people are on this stage, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing this stuff. Okay, let's calm down a little bit. Okay, let's talk about the DEI committee more because you're right. I am good friends with a lot of people on the DEI committee because I have stood here being able to build relationships in SA. I know most people in the Students Association. I know which ones are passionate. I know which ones will do a good job next year. I also know that committees have not spoken to one each other. DEI is not just a committee, it's everything. It's academic affairs, it's campus life, it's the International Students Affairs Committee. We haven't communicated because we haven't had the leadership in the Senate. I think you heard them say their name a second ago, that have put us together in talking about the issues. Thank you.
This is a combination of several questions. Because the candidates have mentioned meal plans before and dining services, the question is specifically about what will be done to secure better vegan options, but there were a couple of questions also about better meeting students' dietary needs and what you're going to do about that. So this has to do with food service. How are you going to secure better vegan options, and what are you going to do to better meet students' dietary needs or advocate for that? The order, that last question we started with you, right? So we're on to Miraz and Misty go first, Daniel and Elijah, and Miraj and Jay.
Hey everyone, as a direct response to what I was just accused of not handling funds properly, this is a direct quote from March 17th around 10 where Daniel Pasquale said, I forgot to say to thank you for all the help you do, you're the best. So let's just put that out there as direct proof and evidence of how I handle myself and how they handle themselves. Break the pork, and I would really like that to change, okay? I would love to have food separated. I do not want pork in the tofu. I do not want tofu in the pork, all right? I want some diversity with the food, but I also want it separated, all right?
Yeah, listen to her.
administrator for the university in charge of dining services, it is not an easy thing dealing with a massive organization, as well as a parent company, Aramark, worth $14 billion that has a subsidiary, Harvest Table, that provides our meal services, and having them change something. That is very hard to do, but yet we've done it. So, dealing with dining services, like I said, we've done the Ramadan meal program. We've worked them to extend the hours of the All Good Station in Douglas Dining Hall. I'm currently working with Todd Fair, the director of dining, to convert the Fusion Station to be all allergen-free plus vegetarian at all times, except for when they were wanting to change that. Like, there's so many different things you can do with dining if you talk to them and give time. Because when I'm saying working with administration is not an easy job, but it's a job that we know how to do, that takes time, but will get done.
I will say that when it comes to me and Elijah's relationship with dining, it's a little yin-yang when it comes to the fact that he sometimes is like, oh, I'll walk into a dining hall and I really like this. I'm a vegetarian. I don't know if we have any other vegetarians in the house. I do eat fish sometimes. Oh gosh. Okay, so when it comes to that, firstly, I think that app, I don't know, I looked at that app before, gone to a dining hall and am able to eat a few sides of peas, which some of my friends would enjoy. But anyway, I think that when it comes to dining options, we need to start instituting mandatory vegetarian stations, whether it be half of them, and make sure that half? Okay, so fun fact, vegetarian food, carnivores can eat. Pretty exciting news. Yeah. There's actually a lot of good stuff out there. Okay. And also, we don't have a lot of stations. I know that's a bold one. But it's in the name of sustainability, it's in the name of food accessibility, because we do have people who are allergic to meats. And I think that it's a really important step.
How's everyone doing today? We just want to bring you our campaign. Even though we refresh eyes, we have great insights on how we can help with this issue. Many of my friends are also gluten-free as well, and I understand why pasta and Dougie Depot does not offer gluten-free pasta. They have multiple sauces. Why not multiple pastas? Add gluten-free pasta so people with gluten-free issues can also have pasta. They have a pantry in Dougie. I don't see that pantry in Depot. Now, Depot also has a vegan station. Where's that vegan station in Dougie? I'm an advocate to get that station in Dougie and help include everyone's dietary restrictions in our campus diet options. So that's what my stance is on that. And if you'd like to see more is to come. Thank you.
One more question from the audience before we move into the rapid fire questions. I want to make sure we have time for that. I want to get to this question because this is the most common question. And that question, order here is Daniel and Elijah, Gururach and Jake, and then Miraz and Misty. And that question is, what is one nice thing you have to say about each of your opponents?
Can we just give a round of applause for these guys? They handled this with absolute grace. This has been quite a debate and just. These are two very passionate people who care about a lot of things. And I'm really passionate about the fact that they're passionate. I also do think on March 17th, I thought she was the best.
So one comment for you guys, I love how you're so passionate about personal integrity and keeping it under the check. Great passion from y'all. Love to see it. From you guys, I love how well informed and how active you are as well in the community. You're really good. I feel like as a whole, all these candidates are great. All these candidates are good. But me and Jake, I feel like we're gonna
if you don't have anything nice to say, I guess you should stay silent.
Wow.
So.
That's fucked up.
And for Jake and Guruvansh, I really love them. I really love their attitude towards this entire debate and towards the campaign. Very fair, very nice. I hope you guys win.
That's fucked up. You do not know half of what happened behind the scenes. I'm just being honest about it up front and in person. That's the difference. I love you guys. If you win, I will handshake you. You guys are amazing. You guys? Say guys.
They can't even agree with their own team. That's going to get a real issue.
This is the opportunity for you all to get to know a little bit more about our candidates. The purpose of this is you get 15 seconds to respond to each of these prompts. It's not intended to make you think an awful lot. It's just it is 15 seconds each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start arbitrarily with Jake, and then I'm going to go down the line back to Guruvansh. Then I'm going to start with. Yeah, just stand up to the mic if you want. You too, Guruvansh. All you can. And just a quick 15-minute count. We're going to be here to Tuesday. 15-second response to each of these prompts. And like I said, we're going to start with Jake. We're going to go down the line, finish with you this time, Guruvansh. If I lose track of who I'm supposed to call on, I'm going to rely upon you guys to remind me because I'm old and I forget and it's late for me. So, Jake, you get to start this off. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah.
Like this.
Exactly like that.
All right.
All right, you got 15 seconds? All right. Your favorite place to study on campus?
Library.
Daniel?
I'd say that I'm a 3-new person.
I'm gonna like stacks B, this in like the very, very farthest place I can get from any other person. I use my
I like my private space at Governor Van Sullivan Lab.
The what?
He stole my answer, but to add, we're in lab. He works in 2, I just work in 1 because I'm not as smart as him. But yeah, we study in lab because we have other things going on outside of SA because we have other accomplishments.
Lobbies because it's a beautiful. I went to 8 when I started.
The time because at this point I'm very busy, at least this week. So the pit's really the only option. I say the veggie burger, but it's getting a little old.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's an extremely loaded question, Dean Burns.
Although with mouth sauce.
All reliable Rockies while I'm playing pool.
Okay.
Not to be too South Asian, but chicken masala from Pit sometimes, but I would also go with chicken noodle soup from Pit.
Anything from Hillside. And also, sometimes they don't check.
I'm like a pasta guy. I can switch it up sometimes. So I like the pasta, the Alfredo one specifically. Yeah. I got Alfredo. Really good. I got an Asian mom, and so usually I don't like the rice on campus here because it's like unwashed and brown. However, the Law Station and Dougie recently has had some really good white rice, so I'm gonna go with that.
Elijah, I think we're starting with you this round, right? Elijah, your prompt is your favorite way to relax and de-stress.
Favorite way to relax and de-stress when it's nice outside, Hammond on Eastman Quad. When it's not nice outside, so like 90% of the year. It's just got to be chilling in my dorm or one of my friends' dorms for sure.
Okay, thank you. Marav?
I stay stuck civilly.
Binge watch and eat.
Okay, Misty?
This presidential debate has been very therapeutic and relaxing for me.
My favorite way to de-stress is the gag. Let's be honest, bro. I'll play I go to the gym. I have everything at my hands. I can play basketball, I'll pick up game with my friends, or anything I want to relax. So like, I have a good time there. Oh, maybe.
I wouldn't say playing basketball, but I usually shoot bricks, so.
You can build a house.
Yeah, besides that, I used to like to mess around with Gavin and Gabe up there.
I'll be boring, I just go to Hillside, then I go over to a friend's house in Hillcourt and just exist.
Oh my gosh, they're right there!
All right, I think we're going to start this one with you. Your prompt is your favorite show to binge watch.
I finished like so many of them. Right now I'm watching How I Met Your Mother, but it's an American show, but I'm a lot of this, you guys, so I'm learning you guys a little bit. Yeah.
I rewatch cartoons from my childhood, specifically Garfield and Tom and Jerry.
So, I watch many TV shows. I like to watch COVID, you know. I was cooking and I had like a TV show playing on the counter. So, maybe Grey's Anatomy, The Office, You Girl. Great shows to binge watch, man.
All right, Jake?
Attack on Titan.
I would say that my friends and I usually watch The Bachelor.
Yeah, you do!
But the person who's screaming, yeah, you spoiled it for me this season, so we have to catch up, but I know who wins, Mary, I'm sorry.
All right, and Elijah?
I'm gonna go something fitting with the role, Veep. But
Yes!
besides that, I'm currently on season 7 of Seinfeld. So yeah.
You get to start the next round, I think, right? And the prompt for you is, what is the class you took that most surprised you? The class.
Oh my god, business major I thought was supposed to be easy. I'm taking Econ 209 right now, and that is entirely calculus. It is terrible. Love the professor though.
172. Yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, the class is really hard. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't study for it, but still at the end of the day, hard class. That would surprise me. I thought we were gonna have online tests, but it's in person this semester.
James?
I was kind of blindsided by the most recent math test, so.
I tried to go 141.
Because I didn't understand why I didn't understand stats until I took it for my other class.
Most surprising, and not because of the material, it's very cool. Econ 108, but because of the professor, give it up for Rizzo, guys.
Organic chemistry.
I took like so many courses, but this credit policy is killing me because I can't take it anymore. But so far, massive heat transfer, thermodynamics 2, advanced organic chemistry, love it.
Okay. I think we're back to okay, so Blue Rush. The prompt for this is, what is the favorite U of R giveaway item that you've received?
Okay. Favorite item? I've seen my friends got some better items personally, but there was a nice shirt that I got for Welcome Week. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's like the coolest item I've got. I've seen some people who's got this very big snow tube. Oh my god, that was pretty cool too. Oh, my bad. We need to take this snow tube from the front.
I really don't have a lot of giveaways. I have a bag, but the clam shirt does well. But what I saw today and I really missed out on was the freaking fanny pack.
cardigan, limited edition.
Okay, Baraz?
My favorite merch, when I was a freshman, I was like all online. So Rochester sent me a blue mug that I won during a, like, what was it, a Kahoot or something like that? So that was sent to Bangladesh, and I felt very special when they sent it to me, so I love that.
The scarves that they sent out made me feel like I was living in Hogwarts, so that was pretty fun, but I would like to see teddy bears or some type of bucket hat moving forward.
So we're going to start with Jake again, right? We've got a couple more. Jake, what's your favorite book? Book, right. The type that you read. Since you were born. Good Percy Jackson series.
I'm trying to find a book that I've read that hasn't been like a random academic textbook, but probably some like, no. Oh my god. I can't come up with a book. How can I be president and I don't know a book? Name a book. What's a book? What book do I like?
I read a lot of philosophy books now for like classes and for my own interest, but all time, all favorite. I got this one like 2. It's a limited edition book about Wegmans, and like it explains what things in a supermarket are, and it pictures up cans and boxes, and it's just like comforting, remarkable. It is a supermarket book.
My favorite book, there are like a lot, but I like my textbooks a lot. So I would say Leninger, Principles of Biochemistry.
We're going to start with Elijah, I think, right? I know, starting with Daniel.
Oh no, I'm bad at this.
Okay, Daniel, your props for this last question is, what is your favorite campus tradition?
Oh, okay. DJ, yeah, I feel like we all love DJ. The first thing that I realized when I picked a first year to be my vice president, oh gosh, was that he's never had D-Day, and that's just so upsetting. But I'm really excited for him to have that first experience. But no, riding the rides, having a good time, it's rocking. Yeah. That's what he is about, yeah.
Favorite tradition? I'm gonna go like the basic answer, Mellior Weekend. Catch me out there in October driving the golf carts. I'm really excited for that.
Thank you. Ross?
Mellior Weekend and D-Day. I can't choose between two because Mellior Weekend is when I see all of my
It's not good, apparently.
This is like a school tradition, but I've been told this tradition. Your first trip to vinyl.